Oh, my dear friends, Namaste, Jai Hind, and Jai Bharat. Friends, our political leaders, intellectuals, commentators, and even economists often talk about China's growing stature in the world, as if China has suddenly emerged in the global stage from nowhere, and at times ridicule India for not doing well. Friends, it is indeed true that China today is far ahead of India in all respects, be it economy, defense, science and technology, manufacturing, trade, etc., etc. The size of the Chinese economy, too, is more than four times that of India. But there are underlying reasons for that, which I want to bring before you. This has not happened overnight, or this has not happened in the last decade or so. Dear friends, when India became independent in 1947, China was facing a civil war. China became the People's Republic of China in 1949, 2 years later than India. India and China both opted for a centralized planning. India started its first 5 year plan in 1951 and China 2 years later in 1953. India opted for a mixed economic model wherein the private sector and the public sector coexisted. But China had no private sector at all, as compared to India's Tatas, Birlas, Singhanias, etc., etc. Friends, until 1978, key economic parameters or indicators of India and China were identical, including the size of the GDP, which was roughly around $300 billion for India as well as for China. Yet, after 75 years of our journey, which we started together, today India is 30 to 40 years behind China in all respect. Therefore, my dear friends, today we will try to find out key reasons for that, which according to me are three. Number one, India opted for a multi-party democracy where politics dominated the economics, rights dominated duties, license and quotas dominated a fair competition. Number two, the leadership. India had no visionary leader like China's Deng Xiaoping, who, despite being a communist ideologue, introduced path-breaking economic reforms as early as 1978-79. In other words, a hardcore communist introducing capitalism in his country. The Indian leadership, on the other hand, remained hostage to socialist ideals. Number three, while India preferred freedom of speech over hunger and poverty, China preferred removing poverty and all-round development over freedom of speech. These, my dear friends, are the key reasons that today China is the second powerful country of the world and India is struggling to catch up with China. Therefore, we all need to ponder upon, and I request all of you to make your comments as to what do you think about this. Thank you very much.